Your product page is going to make or break your e-commerce success. It's so important to get it dialed in and just right because you only have about 7 seconds when someone hits your site to decide if they want to stay or leave. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what goes into creating the perfect product page to maximize your sales and conversions on your site. I've been a Shopify expert for the last 11 years, and I've built over 192 Shopify stores and still counting. I've done the exact things that I'm showing you in this video on all of those different Shopify stores to really dial in the product page. So first off, let's talk about above the fold. So this is what's seen when you come to your site on desktop before you have to scroll down. You want to have the most important information at the top of your site. So above the fold, what you really need to focus on first and foremost are some really quality product photos. You want to make sure that your photos are high quality, they're bright, they're big, they're colorful, and can grab the viewer's attention. You also really want to showcase the benefit of your products. So think here of show, don't tell. Show the product in use. Show the ideal customer having a great experience with your product. Just don't have it all flat lays or stock photography styled photos. Actually show the product being used and showcase those benefits that your product has. Some additional key things that you want to have above the fold on your product page is a star rating, showcasing how many reviews you have on your site and instantly adding that bit of social proof. I also always recommend having a very short bite-sized description that's easily scannable, 1 to 2 sentence max, that has all of the benefits that are about your product. You can have more information further down the page, so don't come at me. There's other areas that you can put this, but have that really small scannable text that explains exactly what your product is in 1 to 2 sentences at the top. You can also have a couple icons here for quick scanning that highlight either the measurements or the benefits of your product. Again, the key things that your ideal customer is going to care about, really having that easy for people to instantly understand and see, especially if they're scrolling on their mobile device or coming from a paid ad and they have no idea what your products are. You want to make it really easy for people to instantly understand what your product is and how it can help them. The last thing that you want to make sure is above the fold is the add to cart button. Of course, this makes sense. You don't want to scroll down the page for the add to cart, but make sure it's up there at the top and that you've got it really nice contrasting colors, bold fonts, so that it really sticks out. I definitely recommend to not do dynamic checkout buttons. This is where you have like Shop Pay or Google Pay, Apple Pay, all of the pays. No, don't do that. Have one add to cart button. You can have options for people to pay different ways on the cart page or the checkout page, but on the product page, you want to avoid decision fatigue and make it really easy for them to add the product to the cart and continue on with their order. The next section on the product page is the middle section, and I like to kick this section off with some press icons. So this is great to add more credibility. It instantly makes you seem trustworthy, and it's great if there are icons of different press outlets that you've been featured in that your ideal customer would know about. If you don't have press yet for your product or for your brand, no worries. I actually have another video that shows you how to really easily get press for your online store in just about a week. So I'll link that in the info cards above if you're interested. Having those press icons though, make sure that they're not distracting. So I like to make it a solid color so that it adds to the page and you don't have all the different logos in different sizes or colors that distracts from it. No distracting. Next, I like to add in a video that's a demo of your product. You can also highlight other benefits of your product being used or your ideal customer using your product as well. This is great because it adds another way of explaining information, maybe other than just the text on the page, and it can be a nice way to add some additional movement and color to your site. You can also have some additional text next to the video that is, again, that bite-sized scannable content that highlights some benefits as well. Moving down to the last section on the page, we're talking about the bottom of the page. So here I like to also kick it off again with some credibility and social proof. So the best way to do this is with customer reviews. Having customer reviews featured on your product page of customers giving it the star rating, having a testimonial of that specific product is priceless. I have a whole other video and apps that I recommend for getting customer reviews, so I'll link that above as well if you're interested. But I definitely recommend this being one of the first things that you add to a new Shopify store is setting up a reviews app so that you can have that automated. So as you get different orders and you're fulfilling things, you can have that automatically send the customer an email asking for that review, and you can start building up this library of social proof on your site. If you don't have a reviews app, you can just do a testimonial slider, but it is going to be really helpful if you can start collecting reviews from your customers sooner rather than later. The next item that I like to add at the bottom of the page is an about area. So about the brand, about this product, the mission behind it. A little bit here is really helpful because a lot of times people are coming directly to your product page. So they may have no idea who your brand is, who you are, the founder's story, anything like that. So having a photo of the founder or the creator of the product, having a little bit of about text, the mission here can be really helpful. And you can always add in a button to go to the about page to learn more. On the about page, you'll definitely want to add in some things to recapture that purchase of highlighting some top best-selling products on the about page so that you can make sure if you are redirecting them to somewhere other than the product page on the site that you've got other areas for them to purchase there. I like adding this in though because it fills out the page and it shows again that you're a credible brand, that there's people behind this and that there's a bigger mission here. The last section that I would add into the bottom of the product page is a newsletter sign up. This is a great area to highlight whatever lead magnet that you have to try and get people to sign up to your email newsletter. Of course, the goal is for them to actually purchase the product, but if they don't do that, the second best would be for them to join your email newsletter so that they can get more regular updates from you and you can get that purchase at some point down the road. The one disclaimer here though is if you're offering a discount code for someone to sign up to your email newsletter list, then I would not put that on the product page because we want to capture the sale full price if we can and not have that featured on the product page. That's great to have in other areas of your site, but I wouldn't include that on the product page. This is where it can be really helpful to add some kind of a lead magnet, a downloadable guide, a freebie, something that you can offer to your customer that provides value that's related to your products, but it's not gonna take away from that sale and the full price, so you're not just having discounts everywhere on your site. Okay, coffee break. That was just all of the things that you need to edit on your product page to build everything out. But let's talk about some overall tips for your Shopify store product page overall. First off, you need to make sure that it is mobile friendly. This is key because so many people are shopping on mobile devices now, especially if they're coming from social media or paid ads. So you want to make sure that your site looks good on mobile devices. There's actually an icon at the top whenever you're customizing your theme in the back end of Shopify. You can click on this and see exactly how your site looks on mobile devices. I definitely recommend checking this out and making tweaks accordingly. You also want to make sure that your site is loading quickly. A lot of times this is because your product images are not sized correctly and you need to resize the product images so that they're not these monster files that are then just taking up so much time to load on the site. You also want to make sure that you don't have too many apps added into your Shopify store because each of the apps will add a little bit of code into your theme that can slow down the page overall. You can actually take a look at your page speed whenever you're in the back end of Shopify in the themes area. So you want to make sure that you're making these kinds of edits to make sure that your site is loading quickly, whether people are on mobile or desktop browsers, that they're able to see your products really quickly whenever they click to your store. I've got another video all about optimizing your store and resizing those images. So again, I'll link it above. Okay, while we're talking about behind the scenes things to do to optimize your Shopify store, I really highly recommend that you go in and actually do all of the SEO work for your product page and for your site overall. So on your product page, this is things like your image tags, your alt tags, your URLs, making sure your keywords are in your description or in your different areas on your product page. This is really important to make sure that your site is actually found in the search engines when people are looking for your brand or your products online. Building out SEO for your product pages and your site overall is definitely going to take some time, but it's super important to build this out as you're spending the time already to optimize these product pages. I've got, you guessed it, another tutorial video that shows you step by step how to find keywords for your store and how to optimize it throughout your store and your product pages, so link above. Lastly, I really highly recommend taking a look at your analytics in the back end of Shopify. This is gonna give you key information to see at what point people are dropping off, what pages are the most popular on the site. If they come to the cart page, how many people actually make it to checkout, so you can see where there could be an issue there. I also love using apps like Lucky Orange, which is a heat mapping tool, and you can see exactly how users are going through the flow of your site. So if you add something in to your product page that maybe people are scrolling right past, or they leave once they get to that area, that's a sign that you may need to change something up. So having this information of the heat maps and seeing exactly how customers are viewing your site is super important. So I highly recommend checking that out as well. So we went through so many tips on how to optimize your product page, but I've got more tips about how to actually market your store once you've got that product page dialed in. I recently launched the eCom Sales Club, where I go through my full marketing system of how to set up your store and your marketing to get more sales on autopilot. Part of this system is building in a community of other Shopify store owners just like you, so that we can have support for each other and help hold ourselves accountable for our goals, especially with this busy holiday season coming up. So if you're interested in joining a group of other Shopify store owners and building out your stores together, check out the link below for more information. And if you're interested in how to get more press for your Shopify store, check out this video that I just recently released that shows step-by-step how I got press icons for my Shopify store and how it takes just about a week to do for your store as well.